I'm Luke, welcome to Down from the Attic. It's been a while, hasn't it? No, I'm not dead, well, not yet, but we're looking at a killer game today. We're looking at 13 Dead End Drive, and this is a game where you murder people. Oh yeah, not kidding, this is a murder game, but it's a ton of fun. Let's get this down and have a look at it. For a game where you viciously and fervently murder each other, the box art for this is brightly coloured and the artwork is wonderfully cartoony. The game of mystery, suspicion and foul play. Taking the lid off, the inner box is lined with all the characters, with a brief overview of who they are and their motives for wanting the fortune. A really nice addition, and this helps with the story and immersion. The contents, well, wow, look at all this stuff. I adore games where there's a ton of bits to jazz up the board, and this game isn't short on that at all. Cardboard walls, plastic pieces, rubber bands, clips, cards, there's a lot in here. The setup of this game is a complex and lengthy process. 6 pages of the manual are given over just how to set this up. When it's complete, however, this game really looks amazing. Constructed, the game looks like the interior of a mansion. The cardboard pieces form a back wall, and really adds to the theming. Although it could be written off as being unnecessary decoration, the back wall is really important to certain mechanisms of the game, and I'll explain this shortly. The artwork is really gorgeous. You can see the attic has stacks of money. Did Agatha never hear of banks? And how rich is she? There's note stuff behind pictures, in the grand piano, inside the grandfather clock. The board itself is really nicely detailed and the plastic components are pretty solid and robust, and they need to be. Former Miss Brighton Beach and heiress to a cat litter fortune, Aunt Agatha, has sadly passed away with no surviving relatives. Her 12 closest friends and employees have convened for the reading of her will, eagerly hoping to get her fortune, but only one person will inherit the fortune, and greed does terrible things to people. She's left her estate to her favourite person, or cat, the one whose portrait is shown hanging on the wall. Will it be you? This game is best played with 3 or more players. The rules say a maximum of 4, but I really can't see why 6 people couldn't happily play. Starting the game, the portrait cards show each of the characters. Shuffle these, place Aunt Agatha's picture at the front, and place into the picture frame. The character cards are shuffled and dealt face down to all the players, an equal amount to all the players. These are to be kept secret. These are your characters, the ones you're trying to keep alive, the ones you're trying to win with. The trap cards are shuffled and placed face down, and each player rolls to see who goes first. Highest number goes first. Agatha's picture is removed to reveal one of the players, and the game begins. At the start of each turn, you roll the dice and you can move 1 or 2 of the characters. Any of the characters. That's right, even though you're dealt the character cards and those are your characters, you can choose to move any of the 12. As mentioned, you can move your choice of 2 of them. Each die represents 1 set of movements per character, or you can add them together and move 1 character that distance. Rolling a double means you have the option to change the portrait, take the front card and placing it at the back. This means that character has the opportunity to escape and win, and effectively puts a bullseye on them. So, how would you go about bumping off your opponents? Simple. Situated around the board are 5 traps, each indicated by a skull and crossbones on the board. When a character is moved onto one of these, you draw a trap card. A trap card will show a picture on it of which trap it can activate. This one is one of the statue. You can't play your trap card when you immediately pick it up, but you can save it and play it on a future turn. If there's a character in a trap and you can activate it, play the card and send them to their demise. Certain cards will have 2 traps. Some are wild card, and you can pick which trap to activate. Shove them in the fire and watch them burn, push them down the stairs, or my favourite, drop the chandelier on their heads. These are fantastic, and killing off one of your friends in this game is always a moment to relish. The dead character is took out of the game, and the player owning that card places their card down. Mixed in with the trap cards are the detective cards. These are played immediately, and it means the detective moves 1 space closer to the front door. As he inches closer, the tension really starts to ramp up. This game absolutely requires you to be sneaky and sly and think very carefully about who you move and how you move them. To get trap cards, you'll sometimes need to move one of your own pieces into harm's way and put them on the trap square. This can throw the players off and make them question which characters are yours. The difficulty in this game is trying to keep your characters a secret. Moving one of your own characters immediately off a trap makes it all too obvious to the rest playing that you own that character, and it will only mean that that character gets killed off that much quicker. Similarly, moving a character closer to the door will spell out to the rest playing that that is yours, and they'll move him far away from the door or closer to a trap. Subtlety is key in this game, and there's a lot of strategy involved. You're carefully watching your opponent's moves and trying to figure out their plays, and figure out who owns which character, hoping that they'll give something away. Around the board are a number of trapdoors. If you wish, you can move onto one of these, and then appear out of another trapdoor of your choice. This is a great way of moving characters to and from traps, and sneakily moving your character closer to the front door. As the game progresses, the number of characters will get fewer and fewer, and it becomes a tense game of survival. Players may figure out who owns which character and team up on that player to make them lose. Being able to move any character on the board, at this stage you're all desperately trying to murder each other. There's 3 ways to win in this game. The first is to have your character's picture in the portrait and safely make it to the front door. The second is to have your character's picture in the portrait by the time the detective arrives at the door. The third, and most fun way, is to be the last man standing and have killed off all of your opponents. Winning in this game, in any of the methods, feels like a real achievement. You've been devious and sneaky enough to make it out of the game alive.
There's a number of house rules you can implement in this game, and admittedly, we've been using one for the longest time without even realising it. Only rereading the instruction manual for this review did I realise, oh, we've been playing it wrong all this time. But this rule absolutely makes the game.
As I mentioned, you can control any of the characters, and in the standard rules, when that character is killed off, you place your character card down next to the pawn, letting the rest of the players know you're a man down. Playing this way, you can effectively be out of the game. The way we play is, when a character is killed, it's removed from the game, but the owner of the character doesn't reveal they had that character. No, we only reveal who we had at the end of the game. This way, you could have all your characters killed off and still play, still influence how the game plays out and who wins. Personally, I think this is the better way of playing. It keeps the sneakiness and intrigue there to the very end, and out players can continue to play. What other game can you think of that you can carry on playing when you've lost? There's another suggested variant where the dead characters rise up from the grave to become zombies. This effectively makes them another trap to utilise against your opponents, though I can imagine this game ending very quickly. Smaller game mods are shuffling these blank cards into the trap card deck, that player not moving the detective or getting a trap activator. A cruel inclusion, especially if you're putting your own character in harm's way for absolutely nothing.
Unsurprisingly, I adore this game. It's one of my firm favourites and regularly gets played on games nights. You can tell Milton Bradley spent time and effort into making this as fun as possible, and it really is. New players will take a couple of games before they get to grips with the sneakiness and deception of the game, but when they do, they'll scheme like pros. This game is like a mix between Cluedo and Mousetrap, and to be honest with you, it's better than both of them.
This is one that regularly gets played, and for good reason. It's an excellent design game, and above all, it's hugely fun. Throwing the cat in the fireplace, or sending the chandelier into that old bat of a best friend, it never gets old. Copies of this are fairly easy to get on eBay. There was a re-release in the mid-2000s called 1313 Dead End Drive, but I've heard the components are really cheaply made.
I can't recommend this game high enough. Get yourself a copy, get a few friends round, and have a murderously fun evening. You won't regret it. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.